Hello, Thomas here with Tomorrow's Collectible Automotive. And today what we got going on here is I have to move this out and pull the other Peugeot in, put the thermostat back in it. That car tends to run kind of hot in the summertime, and so it tends to overheat a little bit, so I take the thermostat out, and now that it's wintertime, it's cold, I'm driving it around, I don't have much heat, so I'm going to put the thermostat back in and take you guys along for the journey. Also, I picked up a spinning light from a local estate sale, and I decided to just put it on the car, and I think we'll name this car the Cheese Inspector, or maybe the Fromage Inspector, or something like that. So I figured, what the heck, it was as much as you can get into a 5-gallon bucket for a certain price, threw it in there, now this car's Inspector Cheese. So we're going to get off the jack stands and get the other car in. Also, you can see that the cigarette lighter actually works. You know, the French, they like their smokes, so you're not going to have a French car and not have a functioning cigarette lighter.
French fried potatoes?
Yep, French fries.
Also, I do apologize for the noise because we're having the house painted right now, so there's sanding and painting and all kinds of construction going on outside the garage right now, so sorry for that. Okay, so thermostat's right here. It's just the 3 bolts. Gotta drain the coolant down. Let me find a bucket for that. And maybe some more light. Okay, more light achieved. There's my bucket. Clean bucket. Radiator drain is right there. See how easily we can get that off. Just need to drain it down enough probably going to be an 11 millimeter now that I think about it. Let's see, am I right or am I wrong? Oh, no, I'm way off.
Ugh. Idiot.
So am I correct? Is it a 14? Yes. Took a couple of times to get right on that one. Is it landed in the bucket? All right. Drain a few inches down. Get the thermostat changed. Always forget that these Peugeots are all weird sizes. It's not a 10, it's an 11. If it's not an 11, it's a 12. If it's not a 13, it's a 14. The weirdest size, that's what they use. And these are still really tight, I see, every time. I'm going to spray some looby dooby on that. For some reason, every time I go to take these out, they get really snug in there. It's almost like the dissimilar metals don't get along that well. You know, an aluminum housing and a steel bolt. I think with how many times I've taken this off, it wouldn't have a problem anymore. Always taking it off and putting it back on. Because it's always having some type of an issue with overheating or just running kind of hot. Yep, that bolt looks lovely. Just as good as when I put it in last time. There we go, fixed. Rebuild this bolt real quick. Rebuilding. Good as new. I never have anywhere to put anything. I'm betting the coolant hasn't drained down far enough yet, so this is probably going to make a mess if I do this. Let's see. Oh, that's going to happen now.
Don't spill it!
What I did there is I released the vacuum on the cooling system, so now it's just going to blast out of there. Hopefully drain that down enough to not spill coolant everywhere. Well, other than the coolant that I already just spilled, that I tried not to, but oh well, shit happens. rebuilding. Good. And don't worry about the garage floor. I'm the only one that ever cleans the garage floor, so basically I'm just making a mess for myself to clean up again later. Alright, so here's a thermostat seal. Still good because I recently had put a new thermostat in it. Trying to think that would solve the overheating problems. It didn't. It just runs hot because it's a diesel. And it doesn't like hot Nevada summers. So I took the thermostat out and fixed it. Go back to the trunk here. Thermostat back here. Whatever, I might want to put it back in. There's the gloves I didn't wear before starting this. Here's the thermostat. Got a thermostat here. We're just gonna put the gasket back on it. Get the gasket back on it. The gasket's been smashed a little bit because I put it in without the thermostat.
Okay, I'm getting pissed now.
That's probably gonna fight a little bit there, cuz. Okay, took a little bit of doing, but we got it back on. Right there, France.
You say French?
Put him back in there. Tighten the bolts back up, rebleed the coolant, and then I'll have heat in a reasonable amount of time. Right now, I have heat in 20 to 30 minutes if I'm lucky and I just have enough. Now I'll have heat in maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Won't that be nice? And then I get to do this again come summertime and take it back out. You may ask, why didn't I go clean the bolts up? Well, the bench guard is out in the shop. I don't feel like walking out to the shop. Because I'm going to be right here again in a few months when it goes from freezing cold to hot as shit. So maybe I'll do it that time. Don't worry. The penetrating oil will keep those bolts nice and loose, or keep them from freezing in there again. I'm not too worried about it. I'm more worried about how much fluid is probably pouring. I'm more worried about all the fluid pouring out of the injection pump right now and all the oil pouring out of the rear main seal on the side of the garage floor that I just cleaned, that I'm going to have to clean again. Because usually I park it over there where all the Christmas stuff is, on those pieces of cardboard. And it leaks all over that. Why don't I fix the injection pump, you might ask? Well, because it costs too much. And this car, and I drive it all the time, pretty much every day, is not worth me spending $1,500 to get the injection pump rebuilt to fix what is probably a $2,000 car. Actually, I have this car for sale because I have lots of Peugeots. I've had it for sale for a long time for $2,000 and nobody wants it. So no, I'm not going to get the injection pump rebuilt. Spend $1,500 on a car that I can't even sell for $2,000. That math doesn't add up. What I'm going to do is keep it running and keep driving it and make some videos for it because, well, why not? Make some videos with it, not for it. So when I dug this car out of the side of the shop over there, where it had been sitting for probably 2 years and sat for a couple more years before that. The power steering rack was pretty much completely destroyed. I pulled the power steering rack out, did my best to rebuild it, did my best to get parts. Couldn't get everything I needed. Against my best efforts, the power steering rack still leaks a little bit, but it went from it leaks so bad and it's so loose I can't drive it to I can drive it safely, but it still leaks a little bit. It'll survive. And I tried to fix the AC. And I would fix one leak in the AC, and then I would charge it up with air duster. Yeah, you can do that. And then it would find another place to leak, and find another place to leak, and find another place to leak, and find another place. Well, after about 4 months of me recharging it, fixing a leak, and then finding a leak somewhere else, the harmonic balancer started slipping. You can't see it, but the outside ring would slip when I tried to turn on the AC pump. So then it wouldn't work because the harmonic balancer kept slipping, and I can't find a harmonic balancer for this car. So I gave up on the AC and kind of didn't really drive it on the hot days.
What a dumbass. Yeah.
Because it liked to overheat anyway. Then I crashed into that light and sent it crashing down upon myself. So that was cool. And kind of just gave up on driving this thing on really hot days and just kind of gave up on having air conditioning. Then it started getting cold. I didn't have to worry about it overheating anymore. And I didn't have to worry about AC anymore. And I had to worry about the heat that I didn't really have, and now I will. So we're good. Just trying to clean up all the coolant. Drain spilled down there. Okay. Drain plug is tight. Thermostat bolts are tight. Now, while we're here, you'll notice when I was cruising it in here, it was whining a lot again. Why is it whining? Well, it's low on power steering fluid again. Which I only have to put power steering fluid in it once every couple of months, so it's really not that big of a deal. So we're going to fix the power steering leak right now by filling it up again and not doing anything else. And I crashed into that light again because it hangs down way too low. The funnel's full of dirt because everything's full of dirt. Because we have gale force 30-mile-an-hour winds pretty much 3 times a week. And you can't keep the dust out of anything around here, no matter what you do. So we're going to rebuild the power steering here. Rebuilding, rebuilding, rebuilding. Overfilling it? Yep. It's okay. It's going to leak out what it doesn't want. I don't know why that's so snug. Of course, that funnel's got a bunch of crap in it from the oil change. Wipe it out. Oh yeah, I still leaked a bunch, even though I tried really hard not to. Wonderful. What are we gonna do with this coolant? Well, because I'm poor, we're gonna put it right back in there. there was some sediment in the bottom of that radiator. You guys might think, well, why wouldn't you just put new coolant in it? Well, like I just said, I'm poor right now, so I'm not even, yeah, I'm poor at this exact moment, so that's what it's getting. But the good news is, tomorrow at that estate sale, they're having dollar days. That means everything's $1. And there was a case of coolant in there, in the back of the shop. If that case of coolant's still there, I'll go back, I'll buy that coolant. I promise I'll come back and I'll put new coolant in here. If I can get that case of used coolant from the 1990s for $1. Here's a little clip of said estate sale haul. All that in that trailer, $40. That was dollar day. So I scored. So now we're gonna fire it back up, let it run. It should get up to temperature in a reasonable amount of time. Then I get to go into the car and clean up a big, huge, shitty mess. I'm just gonna fire it up and drive it out because it already left a big, huge coolant stain I gotta clean up. We'll let it run outside. Or it can leak and smoke up the environment under there. See, that's why that's there. See, thermostat reinstalled. Alright, that finishes up this little piece of a video. You can see I've got a whole bunch of coolant to clean up against my best efforts to contain it properly.
How dare you!
Hello, Thomas here with Tomorrow's Collectibles Automotive. I just want to come in here real quick with a voiceover over some sped up footage to get some opinions of the viewers. Anybody who's made it this far, obviously you must appreciate the content in some way. So I'd like to get some opinions. I have started filming with 2 camera angles. I want to see how you guys feel about that. Do you like the first person? Do you like the time-lapse footage? Do you want me to clip it in at the end? Do you like it in the middle? I would love some opinions on the viewers because I'm kind of working on it. How do you feel about the transitions, the cutaways, what's working, what's not working? I would love any constructive criticism as I kind of go along here. Do you like shorter videos, under 30 minutes? Do you like longer videos, an hour or longer? Any opinions, any constructive criticism will help me try to produce better content for my viewers. And I appreciate all of those that have subscribed. If you like the content or you think you know somebody that might love the content or like the content, share it with them if you would like. Get a few more subscribers. I'm slowly starting to build the channel, doing my best, and would love the opinions of the viewers. So please let me know. Any criticism is considered good criticism as long as it's constructive in some way. So thanks again for your time and hope you're having a wonderful holiday. Thank you. Hope you liked that little bit from this little small episode I'm putting together. If you like the content, please subscribe or like or whatever you feel like you want to do. And I'll keep trying to put videos together and I'll work on my editing skills as I go along. Anyway, have a good day and catch you next time. Alright, we're going to do something a little different here, and we're going to jump into a walk-around video and some driving footage of a trip I took in the 1984 Peugeot 505 a few days prior to this footage being shot. Hope you enjoy it. I was feeling a little under the weather while I was filming it, so if I seemed kind of scatterbrained when I was trying to explain things, I wasn't feeling very well, and I had to run into town and go to doctor's appointments and other things, so it was a little frustrating. But hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you like this, and thanks again for your time. So right here we've got, and it is loud, this is how they are when they're cold. This is the Indendor XD2 2.3 liter turbocharged diesel. The factory air box is gone, it's got this control filter on here instead. The injection pump unfortunately is leaking and needs to be rebuilt, but can't quite afford that at the moment, so we'll have to deal with being disconnected, or being leaking, I should say. Here's the interior. I do drive this car, so I've got a little bit of dirt in it. This car, I've owned this car off and on for probably 12 years. I got it back in 2011, 2012. Daily drove it for a few years, then sold it to somebody in Sacramento, a locomotive mechanic. And he had it. This was a California original car, originally registered in California, so it was new, sold new, I believe, in California, registered in California. Spent most of its life there. The guy I sold it to, he didn't quite know what was going on with it. He kind of just was taking stuff apart and messing with it. Any real Peugeot enthusiast would realize that the door panels don't quite match the interior because these are STI door panels, because this was originally an STI. So STI meaning the fully loaded option. It would have had leather seats, but all the leather seats turned rock hard and were miserable and uncomfortable. So this interior came out of a 1986 GL, which is a base model edition, so it's got this velour here, which I think these seats are way more comfortable. No heated seat options, no fancy adjustments, just basic seating, but it still has the leather optioned door panels. STI would have been top of the trim line, which is what this is, but this is the turbo diesel. It does have a trailer hitch on it. You can tow a little bit of stuff with it, not much. I tow a little utility trailer around with it when I need to. It does smoke. It's running a little bit of used engine oil. I run probably 40 to 50% in summertime and like 10% in the winter time, 15%. So there's a little bit of used engine oil in there right now along with the diesel. The original paint color is Winchester gray, which there's not much left of the original paint color now. It does have power mirrors, which has been an STI option. The full gauge cluster package with tachometer, and it actually works, which is kind of rare for these. Heated seats that don't work. 3-speed automatic. I wish it was a manual. I hope to get a manual one at some point. Sunroof does not work, unfortunately. It spent a lot of time sitting, so in the 12 years of ownership, I'd probably say half of the time from it being owned by somebody else for a while, and then back to me, because it went to the guy. I kind of rambled, but it went to the guy in Sacramento, and then after that he kind of took apart the doors and messed with a bunch of stuff, and it blew an oil cooler and it got parked again. And then after that he sold it back to my cousin. My cousin actually in Red Bluff found it on Craigslist and bought it back for next to nothing. then took it out to his place, and then it sat out there for a while, and then he just basically said, hey, I don't want to deal with this. This car used to be yours. It should be yours again. And he brought it out there to me, and then it sat out here at our place in Nevada for another year or two. And then back at the beginning of the year, I decided to put it back on the road, which is what I did. Smoke. So that's the situation. It's got a pretty good sized trunk. I do a little bit of mobile mechanic work to make some extra money. So I've got some random things in here. I went out and did a repair. A few days ago. Never emptied it back out. That's pretty much the situation here. We'll take it for a drive, put a few miles on it, and go from there. Smell in here. One of those situations with Nevada where there's no pollutant control. Oh look, a car that doesn't pollute at all just pulled in front of one that does. Oh, you didn't get to do anything, did you? Well, look at that, Mr. Electric Car. You get to get stuck in traffic like everybody else. Oh, there he goes. Oh, that car's gonna change lanes again and try and pass. Let's take a look. Yep, there it goes, because it's in a big old hurry. It wants to be just one car length ahead of the next person. Oh, that pothole on the road fixed the right turn signal. Sweet. I mean, you're not going to drive to town and not get a Costco hot dog, because that's just sacrilege if you don't do that. Still only $1.50. Sweet. Oh, power steering's low again. Yep, whine. Sad part is, I tried fixing the power steering rack in this, but it didn't go that well because you can't get parts for it. So, it's easy to just fill it up every couple of months. Easier than trying to get parts and seals that I can't get. Oh, not that one. That's kind of a big thing right there. This will do. Everything. I just fixed enough to get it running and driving. A lot of different people say don't get it right, just get it running. And that's something I definitely stand behind. If I wanted to get this thing right, it would never get out of the garage. I'd never get to enjoy it. It'd just be a constant money pit. I'm just trying to get them running. Get them running, get them out there, enjoy them, drive them. Maybe somebody else will enjoy them too. If it breaks down, it breaks down. This thing has already broken down twice. But it does not stop me from getting right back on the horse and going right back out here in this stinky old diesel. So take a chance, get your old car out of the barn or shed or whatever, throw it together, and get out there on the road. This is Thomas with Tomorrow's Collectible Automotive.